So hello and welcome. This is Erica Glessing. You're here on the Erica Glessing Show, where you receive 8 minutes of inspiration each and every day. My guest today is exceptionally beautiful inside and out. I'm so blessed to have her. I get this feeling like my life's going to change because I met her, and you know how you just feel that way sometimes. It's just a gut feeling. Her name is Judith Royle, and she has a brand new book out and a whole pattern of Genesis. It's really interesting. So how are you, Judith? What's going on?
I couldn't be better today. I'm glad to meet you.
Yeah, what part of the world are you in? Where are you calling me from?
I'm in Sedona right now.
Oh,
I
nice.
spend my winters in Sedona, Arizona, and I'm originally from Ontario, Canada, and I live in Newfoundland, Canada.
Okay.
The other part
Oh, good. So your book will be bestseller in 2 countries.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
always so fun when that happens. So, yeah, why don't you just tell me a little bit about your Genesis work and just talk a little bit about how you can help people with that.
This is Soul Genesis. I became involved in the work around 2002, and my mentor and teacher at the time was Vanessa Ralston. She actually created the work. And then later on, approximately 5 years ago, she decided to retire. And so I bought the rights to Soul Genesis, and it has always been my passion, but now it's my sole purpose to get it out to the world. And it's basically connecting with the core essence of who you are, not just in this lifetime, but right from your soul's origination.
You know, I love this topic. I have to say, there's a book that I created recently called The Courageous Self-Love Journey.
Ooh.
And I had maybe, I don't remember how many authors, like 12 or 13, write about self-love. And really it felt so connected with the work that you're doing. And
well,
even
that's what it is all about.
Today,
Yeah.
I was thinking about, like, we are so beautiful in spirit, and we can't, it's like, you know what I saw in my mind's eye this morning? This is crazy. I saw horses with the blinders that they used to put on them in the old days. And they did it so they wouldn't get, like, freaked out, like if they saw something.
Yes.
And I thought, how often are we blind to our own light?
Oh, yes, yes. But now we're learning to stand in our light and our power. And that's basically what my sole purpose is, to teach people to be the power of their potential. And Soul Genesis is one way of doing that, because the cool thing about it is, whatever I find that needs to be tweaked or changed or addressed, there is a clearing for that. So it's actually opening the doors so that people can move forward. Nice. You know how sometimes you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you just can't get the traction? That's what Soul Genesis does.
So tell me about your book. What's the name of it? And tell me a little bit about it.
It's called The Soul Already Knows. And it's basically the lessons a soul learns through past lives by accessing the Akashic records. So it's a fiction / nonfiction, in that it is actually my soul's journey, part of it.
Oh, exciting.
And the lessons that I have learned from those lifetimes and how I brought them into this lifetime and applied them here.
Wow.
And
I had an interesting experience recently where I helped someone. I don't want to say I helped them die, but I helped their spirit be at peace as they were, like, getting ready to cross over. And I sat with them and kind of held their hand in spirit, not with their body. And it was such a fascinating experience. It really took a lot of energy, but everything you're saying to me seems so in alignment with that awareness. You know what I mean?
I would be willing to bet that you've had training in the third order, which means you've had training on the other side when you're not in the physical body, in the physical world. And part of the training that you've had is to help souls transition as they move to the other side, and also for souls coming in on first breath. So I, just from your comments, if we read your Akashic records, I bet you we'd see that.
All right, so this is pretty interesting in an 8-minute interview, Judith. Okay, so you say something like that to someone, namely like Erica Glessing of the Erica Glessing Show. So what do I do with that information? Like, okay, what if that's true?
Well, the key part.
Because I have to tell you, you're not the first person to say that.
Okay.
But armed with that information, like I was like, huh, that's really interesting, right?
Well, it may be lots of people who have that training. Some work in palliative care centers. Some might work in the maternity ward. It may have something to do with what they're doing in the world now, in the physical world. So you just take the information that you learn from the reading and you can apply it to this life. Maybe you need to go in a different direction. Maybe you need to enhance and amplify what you're already doing. It just sheds a light on how you can move forward and be in your light to the fullest extent.
I can't get over how fast this went. So why don't you just give our listeners like one actionable thing they can do just to help them change a little bit today, more towards their purpose, more towards their own knowing?
I think the most productive thing anybody can do is that when they see when they see themselves respond in a certain way that may not be to their highest good, and we all do that, just to take a step outside of themselves and look at themselves with different eyes and say, what precipitated this, and how might I do that differently next time? So it's a big difference between beating yourself up and judgment.
Right.
Discernment, that's what we need to use. If people use discernment more than self-judgment, we'd be a whole lot easier on ourselves.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad you could stop by. Again, everyone, this was Judith Royle. She has a brand new book out. And Judith, why don't you tell us again the name of your book and then your website so we could find you and learn more from you.
All right, I'd love to. It's called The Soul Already Knows by Judith S. Royle. And I have two websites, soulgenesis.com and judithroyle.com. And Royle is spelled R-O-Y-L-E.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
My secretary used to say, I'm not toilet tissue. No,
you're real. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Erica. Bye-bye.